Welcome to Capital City Underground. I'm Renata Guzman.
And I'm JC John. We have a really exciting and packed show for you today.
We'll cover everything from protests here on campus to what's going on in the world.
And we'll also take a look at Lincoln's local music scene and the use of styrofoam on campus. So let's get started.
This morning, President Obama presented the Medal of Honor to a retired Army captain at the White House. Captain Florent Groberg is honored for his courageous actions in Kunar Province, Afghanistan on August 8, 2012, when he was injured in combat. Groberg was born in France but became naturalized U.S. citizen in 2001. The White House says Captain Groberg is the 10th living person to be awarded the Medal of Honor for actions in Afghanistan.
A 12-year-old boy from Omaha had admitted to being involved in the fatal shooting of a 31-year-old man and has been ordered to serve probation at a psychiatric facility. A judge ordered the boy on Tuesday to be placed at a Boys Town psychiatric facility where he will be evaluated in 6 months to determine the effectiveness of his mental health treatment. The boy pleaded guilty to reduced charges of criminal conspiracy and using a weapon in the death of Jemimil Ray. The Red Cross says 37 people are dead after 2 suicide bombings in southern Beirut. Almost 200 others were left wounded. The national news agency in Lebanon says at least 4 buildings were damaged in the blast. What you're seeing now are pictures from the scene. The area is a stronghold for the Shiite Hezbollah group and has seen previous violence connected to the conflict in Syria. But the exact motive for these blasts is still unclear.
The retail giant Walmart unveiled several deals for the post-Thanksgiving shopping bonanza. Walmart stores will open at 6 p.m. local time Thanksgiving night, while Walmart.com will start offering deals at 3 a.m. Eastern time Thanksgiving morning. The company says it's ditching its hourly doorbuster deals, which have a history of causing scuffles between shoppers, and said all discounts and deals will be available at once. The company will also give additional pay, free dinner, and discounts to employees who work on Black Friday. What an incredible opportunity high school volleyball teams are getting this weekend. The Nebraska State Volleyball Tournament is taking place at the Pinnacle Bank Arena. The first round begins this afternoon. Both Lincoln Southeast and Lincoln Southwest are playing in the Class A bracket at PBA. Class C1, C2, D1, and D2 will be playing at high schools around Lincoln. The championship games will all be played at the Devaney Center on Saturday, November 14th.
UNL is making some visible changes regarding sustainability. Here's reporter Joy Carey and videographers Jay Tan and Nick Hermson with the story.
And you can see some of those changes already. Some of you may have seen that the training table has switched its takeout boxes from styrofoam to cardboard. The university is waiting till 2016 to do a complete switch so that restaurants will have a chance to use up the styrofoam that they already have in stock. By 2016, UNL plans to be styrofoam free. The decision comes after a push from UNL's student body government, ASUN.
We approached clubs and different student groups and asked them to take a pledge to stop using styrofoam.
Himes was part of the team that created Foam Free UNL, a website that talks about the negative impacts of styrofoam.
Kind of the point that we got stopped at was the businesses in the union. We had no power over them, and when it came down to their business structures, they don't want to give up things like styrofoam because it is the cheapest way for them to have takeout containers.
In the spring, ASUN decided to stop funding purchases of styrofoam. Now, with the support of the UNL administration, even restaurants in the union won't be able to use styrofoam in 2016. But what's so bad about styrofoam? Environmental Studies Advisor Christine Haney says that while paper products take years to decompose, it's estimated that styrofoam products take millions of years.
It doesn't break down wholly. Paper can break down pretty quickly. You can assist the process with water and sun exposure, and it breaks down to more of a natural product. But styrofoam is there for the long haul. So it continues to add up within landfills. It continues to clog up waterways.
In addition, Haney says styrofoam contains carcinogens, cancer-causing chemicals that are released as the product breaks down. These chemicals are released into soil and water and sometimes consumed by animals. For Emma Himes, eliminating styrofoam is a change she hopes can go beyond campus.
It's causing students to question when they are picking up styrofoam. So I think that we've kind of started this culture change through the Styrofoam Project.
Emma says it's something for her that she enjoys being able to see a tangible change by something they're doing on campus.
Thanks, Joy.
So what's next for this movement, Joy?
Emma Heim says it's something where she hopes the momentum of the movement can affect some businesses around the campus. Like she gave the example of the coffee house still uses styrofoam cups. That's something that she'd like to see changed.
Thanks, Joy. We can't wait to see this movement continue picking up steam on and around campus. A student at UNL is organizing what he calls a Black Lives Matter protest at the City Union. The protest will take place on November 19th from 12:20 to 2 p.m. The protest initially drew criticism from some students because the organizer, Trevor Obermuller, a white male, was required to participate in an event to stop prejudice by his Psychology of Racism class. However, Obermuller has confirmed that the UNL African Student Association and African People's Union will be in attendance, as well as speakers from the African American community. UNL will host more than 3,000 students in the next 2 weeks. Harvey Perlman addressed Nebraska students and staff via an email saying that high school students will be coming to campus as part of the annual Diversity Leadership and Red Letter Day events. The student guests will be touring residence halls, eating in the dining halls, and attending symposiums taking place in the Union. Perlman encouraged current students to be patient and respectful to the guests.
The Lincoln Parks and Recreation Department will present the draft of the dog facilities master plan during the Parks and Rec Advisory Board tonight. According to the department, there are an estimated 66,360 dogs in Lincoln. The city's 2 dogs use facilities, Rickman's Run in Southeast Lincoln and Oak Creek Dog Run in Northwest Lincoln, are perhaps the city's most used park facilities. The draft contains the results from the survey posted on the Parks and Rec website in March, encouraging dog owners to evaluate what works and does not work at the 2 Lincoln dog park facilities. Tonight's meeting could determine if 3 new dog parks will be opened. November is a month that brings awareness to one of the deadliest diseases worldwide. Capital City Underground reporter Erica Nett has the story.
It's the 6th leading cause of death in the United States and kills more than prostate and breast cancer combined. It can't be slowed, prevented, or stopped, and affects over 5 million people worldwide. One UNL student was 14 when he found out that his grandpa was one of those 5 million people. Now, 10 years later, Alex Washa knows exactly what that reality is like. His day is always the same, but so is the commitment from the person he spends it with, Washa's grandmother. Michelle Carlson has spent 8 years working at the Arbors, a memory care facility in Lincoln. In her career, she has witnessed firsthand how this disease can financially, emotionally, and mentally affect a family.
It provides challenges to everybody in the family. We've had people wander off in the middle of the night. I'm sure everyone's heard those stories on the news. That stuff's real because they don't know. Their brain is dying.
According to Carlson, Alzheimer's is called the long goodbye because people with the disease can live for 10 or more years. This makes it difficult for people who work with the patients.
You establish bonds with people, and so you go on the journey with them. I get sad, I cry, but there is a certain level of knowing that you've done a really good thing for them.
This disease doesn't just take memories, it takes people. Mothers from daughters, sisters from brothers, and a grandfather from his grandson. But for Washa, the worst part about the disease is that he never got to know who his grandpa was before he was diagnosed. For Capital City Underground, I'm Erica Nett.
That story gets you. It definitely brings tears to your eyes. I had a great opportunity to meet Mel Adams, who that story is about there, and you would never know that he doesn't know who you are. He is so nice, and he's just that person. No matter what, if he knows you or not, he's so nice to you.
Right, I can understand that. Alzheimer's seems to be something that comes on quickly and takes the memory very quickly.
It does.
So we'll take a fast break, and when we come back, we'll hear about Lincoln's local music scene. Stay with us.
We've got about probably 10-15 minutes left, and then the show is starting. The most innovative designers are students. It's just unabashed, like, creativity. It's incredible. And I get really excited knowing that kids are still into it. There's just no other industry like it.
May not be the most populated city, but its local music scene is bigger than most realize. Capital City's B. DeBose has the story on how local recording studios function right here in Lincoln.
Studio recording in Lincoln tends to go unnoticed because we're not the biggest city. After visiting Fuse Studios and DNA Audio, I got the chance to find out some of the problems local studios have encountered with local artists and some of the issues local artists have while recording.
Their level of being prepared, if they come in very unprepared, not really knowing what they want, then we kind of have a problem and things kind of get sidetracked and you end up spending a lot of time on things you don't need to be wasting time on, really.
You want to be experimental, but it'll cost you to be experimental. And, you know, back in the days when people would write and record a record in the studio, and they would have, you know, $100,000 to record, they could be as experimental as they wanted to be. It was, you know, on record label money. But those days are gone. And with everybody trying to put out music, trying to get, you know, a better sound, and preparation is everything if you want to speed the clock up, if you want to have that time to experiment. So I think a lot of times just being totally prepared for the element.
With advancing technology, recording music has become easy to do from home. This does impact our local studios, but local recording artist Alex Compt thinks it's not a bad idea for practice needs only if you're planning to record in a studio soon.
I would actually suggest recording yourself as much as you can, but don't expect to release it and don't release it. Please don't release it, actually. Because it's going to be bad and it's going to be terrible, and once you get past the point of sounding terrible on your recordings and you get professional help, you're going to look back on those recordings and say, oh, I wish no one ever heard those. So, yeah, practice but do not release.
We study audio, we get better at it, we practice it, we do it more than you, we can do it better than you. It's just, you know, can you paint your house? You sure can, but you can also call a painter. That's all they do. They'll do a better job. You can build a chair, sure can. It's not that hard, but if you have a carpenter do it, it's going to be a lot nicer chair. I mean, it really is. It's a quality thing.
There's a trend right now, you know, to home record or record in the hotel room, for instance. I think the last project I worked on, they had actually been working on some stuff in a house. And they just came to the realization, yeah, you know, this is great, but, you know, I can hear the dog barking in the background of the car going down the street. And, you know, I'm not getting quite the drum sound I want.
Technology has affected some of the financial aspects of local studio recording, but it hasn't affected the heart of why they do what they do. And in the end, putting out local music is worth it.
You know, getting to know the musicians, like the people make it fun for me. And like a lot of the musicians around here are very passionate about what they do, and being able to be brought into something that they care that much about and be a big part of it is a lot of fun for me. So that's definitely my favorite part.
I think everybody's got a vision for what they want to do, where they want to go, where they hope to go. I see a lot of unique sounds. Everything from heavy metal to 90s acoustic rock to singer-songwriters that'll come in with a song and you go, wow, you know, wow, that's amazing. I think people come in here, they feel comfortable, they have a good time. I like it when my clients are smiling when they leave, happy, you know, people are up about the project, up about their creativity. That's the way it should be.
Well, JC, I never had an idea that there were so many different bands.
Me neither.
In Lincoln, or so many different ways that you can record your music.
Right, a lot of local music here in Lincoln.
There is. So coming up after the break, we will head to the weather with Audra and Jake, where they will give us an update on the chill we may be seeing soon.
At the University of Nebraska College of Journalism and Mass Communications, you can start here and go anywhere. Our programs are designed for life seekers. You'll get hands-on experience from day one. To begin your future, go to journalism.unl.edu. Start here, go anywhere.
With the Capital City Underground Weather Team, Cody, Audra, and Jake update Lincoln with your latest weather information. From the storms to the studio, let's take a look at this week's forecast.
For Capital City Underground, I'm Jake Petter. After a mild and rather calm start to your November, yesterday proved to be quite a wild weather day across Nebraska, where we had varying weather conditions across the state, including blizzard warning, hail, snow, and even that lingering chance for a tornado. Looking at the National Weather Service map across the state, at one point during the day there was both blizzard warning over southwest Nebraska and a tornado watch in southeast Nebraska. Now looking as that storm moved across the area, it dropped a good amount of snowfall for this time of year, where in Ogallala we received about a half a foot, 6 inches, North Platte 1 inch and 7/100ths, and then as it moved farther east, that snowfall amount dropped quite substantially, but we did in fact see some snowfall here in Lincoln with the trace. So now with the look of the rest of your weather for this week, here's Audra Moore.
Thanks, Jake. Let's take a look at our current weather conditions here in the capital city. 56 degrees at the moment. It's been a lot sunnier today than it was yesterday. The wind, though, has stuck around. The winds have been out of the northwest at 20 to 25 miles per hour, and we've even seen some gusts at up to 32 miles per hour. However, that will change as we head into tonight. 26 is our low, mostly clear. Should get nice and cold this evening. The winds will die down to about 5 to 10 miles per hour out of the west. Tomorrow, also a nice day. 55 is your high that we're looking at. Sunny and clear. Winds out of the west still at 5 to 10 miles per hour, though they will be shifting to out of the south later that evening. As we go ahead and look at our game day forecast, if you're heading up to New Brunswick for that game at Rutgers, 41 by 9 a.m., 47 by noon. We're looking at 49 degrees by kickoff, which is 3:30 their time or 2:30 here in Lincoln. The winds will be out of the northwest at about 10 to 15 miles per hour, which could have an impact on the game. We'll have to wait and see on that. 6 p.m., 45 degrees, and by 9 p.m., 42. However, back in Lincoln on Saturday, our high is 64. Should be a really nice day if you're going out hunting for opening weekend. Sunday, partly cloudy and breezy with a high of 61. As we head into your work week ahead, Monday, another chance for some precipitation with a high of 59, partly cloudy also. On Tuesday, also another chance for some precipitation, mostly cloudy throughout the day. It could turn into some snow. We'll have to wait and see. Not sure if it'll be more than a trace again like yesterday. A high of 53 on Tuesday. As for Wednesday, partly cloudy with a high of 51. Also a nice day. For Capital City Underground, I'm Audra Moore. JC and Renata, back to you at the desk.
Well, the weather certainly sounds a lot better than yesterday's, where we did have snow in western Nebraska, Colorado, and Wyoming, which shut down portions of Interstate 80.
Yeah, that's true. The weather is looking a lot better for deer hunting season, which does start this Saturday. So let's take a look at sports, where our own Kelsey Bathke took a heavy look at one of UNL's newest athletic clubs.
From big time to little known, sports are happening all across Nebraska's campus all the time. An inside look at what our Huskers are doing happening right now. 2015 marks the inaugural year for the Barbell Club here at UNL. Kevin Carlson, the vice president of the club, explains to us what they're all about.
Well, for our club, we started our club because we wanted a way to represent the university in both Olympic weightlifting, and powerlifting. And so we compete in 2 organizations, the USAPL, which is USA Powerlifting, and the USAW, which is USA Weightlifting.
Between these 2 divisions, the club hopes that all active members will compete this year for a shot at a national competition.
And the goal of our club is to get our members to compete in a regional competition in both powerlifting and weightlifting, compete and qualify for collegiate nationals, and then go to collegiate nationals in order to represent the university.
Both men and women are encouraged to join the Barbell Club, and member Hannah Opfer talks about how her life has been positively affected by weightlifting.
Freshman year was kind of hard for me, like just adjusting, and so I started going to the gym a lot. And by the time now, 3 years later, lifting became a passion of mine. It also has helped me to become more accountable for myself. Weightlifting is one of those things where you get out of it what you put into it.
Philip Weeby, a weightlifter for the club, told us about the transition between powerlifting and weightlifting.
So I started doing powerlifting and got pretty strong real fast, and then I kind of sort of stumbled upon Olympic weightlifting and decided that was a lot more interesting and took a lot more of my effort and concentration. It was a mental challenge and a physical challenge all at the same time.
The Barbell Club meets every other week on Sunday mornings at the UNL City Campus Rec for group lifting, but hopes to move to more frequent meetings as competitions draw closer in order to form a sense of community. But for some, that feeling already exists.
I'm not by myself. I've been by myself for a long time lifting, and it's nice to have kind of a family, I guess.
Wow, what a powerful and uplifting piece.
It really is. You know, I don't think I could ever lift something like that. I don't even know if I've gone to the gym that many times. But that's terrific. So after the break, reporter Bailey Neal will give us a closer look at a fundraiser called Jump for Jack.
Picture yourself in a masterpiece building, surrounded by the work of great American masters. It's here. Sheldon Museum of Art at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. Nebraska's national treasure.
University of Nebraska-Lincoln broadcasting students call the game from atop Memorial Stadium.
You're listening to the Huskers on 90.3 KRNU.
An emphasis in sports communication prepares students to cover sports, from reporting and advertising to promotion and social media.
Allowing us to emphasize in sports really opens up so many doors for us and opportunities, and it's great. It's a one-of-a-kind experience.
Start here, go anywhere. The College of Journalism and Mass Communications.
Standing by at the Union is reporter Bailey Neal, who went to Defy Gravity to find out more about Jump for Jack, an event happening tomorrow to raise money for Team Jack and pediatric brain cancer. Let's go live to Bailey for more.
Thanks, JC. I'm here with Erin, the Director of Marketing for the Team Jack Foundation. And in case some people don't know, I know there might be some people living under rocks, but what is the Team Jack Foundation?
The Team Jack Foundation, we raise money for pediatric brain cancer research. It's nationwide, all across the United States. We fund pediatric brain cancer research. We now will be putting funds, though, in the state of Nebraska. So that's something that we're very proud to say. So that's what the Team Jack Foundation does.
Definitely. And so tomorrow, there's a big event here in Lincoln. Can you tell us a little bit about that? It's at Defy Gravity, and just explain the rundown for what people can expect.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. It's called Jump for Team Jack. It's $27 a person, but that includes basically you get into everything, and you get a free meal. There should be a lot of fun things going on. There's a silent auction, so there's stuff signed by Jack, there's stuff signed by Rex Burkhead, there's a whole bunch of stuff for all ages, and then also we'll have a special guest. Eric Crouch will be there from 6 to 8, so if you want to come see the Heisman Trophy winner Eric Crouch, head down. There is a deal, though. If you get 4 tickets, you get the 5th one free, so don't forget about that. So get a whole bunch of your friends and come down. But half of the proceeds go to the Team Jack Foundation, so it should be a fun event just to get families involved, college kids involved, just to come down and raise money for a good cause. So.
Awesome. And will Jack be there?
Jack will not be there. Jack is actually in Boston right now. He's getting some treatment, or not treatment, he just has checkups every month. He goes to Boston. So I guess that's what happens when you have brain cancer. You have to travel. So he won't be there, but it should be a good time just to, get a whole bunch of people out there and have a good time.
All right, well, our thoughts are with him. And now we're going to go back to the studio where we have Black Lighthouse for you guys for their original song, Anthem. We think you guys will really enjoy it.
Atop the bones of the righteous man, you say, welcome to my pearly gates, and point the gun back in my face. Seconds to turn away or read led today, oh today. And I don't understand. If we're all the same, why do you treat me this way, this way? I'm gonna break the walls down. Break them down. Break the walls down, down. Break the walls down, down, down. Break the walls down, down, down. Break them down. I'm gonna break the walls down. See the solar sister underfoot, a brother. She's crying out, she's in duress, and you call her innocent-less because of her red dress. And I don't understand. If we're all the same, why treat her this way? I'm gonna break them down. Break them down. Break the walls down, down, down. Break the walls down, down, down. Break the walls down, down, down. Break them down. Break them down. I'm gonna break them down, down, down.
Well, thanks for joining us for today's show. You'll see us again next week, same time, same place.
Enjoy your weekend and have a great evening, everyone.